What is going on, everybody? Let's do a little behind the grind. Episode 5, kind of like randomly late at night. It is 3:46 a.m. Club Dub has like some of the worst table selection I've seen in a long time. I'm pretty much filming this directly after the last episode that we filmed. Like, I played no poker between. So, like, we played that one tournament, we fired one bullet, we lost, is what it is. I don't think I showed the balance at the end of the last video. And if I did, I don't think I broke it down. But yeah, so we lost overall yesterday, $58, but 33 of that was from the tournament. So like, nah, that really is very nothing. That's about $25, and we were playing NL40 and NL100 mostly, so that's literally nothing. So I was gonna play a little PLO, but then I saw that like the tables were kind of like, well, although one player might have gotten up because I like to play the 10 game because I don't know how to play this game. So maybe let's hop in, see if we can, what do we got here for stats? 43, 42. We got 74. Heck, yes, we'll take that. So yeah, once again, I have no idea how to play this game, but I will do my best, and I don't have no idea. I just have, like, comparatively speaking to my No Limit Hold'em counterpart, I have absolutely no fucking clue what I'm doing. In the Compared to someone who doesn't know how to play poker, I know a ton about PLO, and compared to someone who plays PLO a lot, I am probably at a disadvantage. Compared to someone who's brand new to PLO, I am at an advantage. Like, here's what I'll explain to you folks that I understand about PLO. I understand that you are effectively always trying to draw to the nuts. Like, this is a hand right here where I still actually have no clue what I'm doing. Do I call the 35? I think I do, right? Because Jack is good enough to try and overset some hands, but I really don't fully know. And I am blocking the king here. That's cool. That's cool. But no, I truly don't know. I actually don't know the play here. I don't. So it's between either folding or calling, for sure. For sure. Like, there's no way that this is a 3-bet. It's my assumption. No way this is a 3-bet. So they bet 73, pretty small compared to the size of the pot. They call. We could lay down the hammer now, given that there's only the one combo. I think that's the best play to do, just in case someone's got 3-3. Yeah. And, queen 10, ace queen, this, that, like, all the draws out there. So, you play a game like Hold'em and you look at this board, it's like pretty dry. And then you play a game like Omaha and you're like, ooh. Well, I mean, I say Hold'em, but, Texas Hold'em, Omaha Hold'em, yada yada. In case you guys are not aware, this game is technically called Omaha Hold'em, which is so confusing and so silly. So it really is just PLO and NLHE, or no limit and pot limit is like the easiest ways. Like, although you really do have you have pot limit Hold'em, but not really. Pot limit Hold'em really is extinct, man. Like, I'm not sure where the fuck spreads pot limit Hold'em anymore. Because back in the day, Full Tilt, Poker Stars, Party Poker, all that, you genuinely did have limit, pot limit, and no limit Hold'em tables, and they all ran congruently. And of course, pot limit was always like the least, popular variant, but even less popular than limit for sure. But just a weird game that is effectively extinct. Like, the only place I can possibly imagine them still running a pot limit Hold'em event would be at the World Series, because like they do try to keep the history of poker kind of like alive. You see like deuce to 7 triple draw, all this like random shit that I've like never even come close to playing before, that they will still spread bracelet events for at the World Series, because it is a historic poker event. It's not just a Hold'em event, even though Hold'em of course took over the poker world, or I should once again say no limit Hold'em. But just know going forward that when I say Hold'em, I mean no limit Hold'em. When I say pot limit, I mean, pot limit Omaha. So I think potting here is actually good. In case you guys have not heard this term before, this is an Anthonyism. I call this to be oversuited. I'm single oversuited, or I don't say single. I just say I'm oversuited. Or if I had all 4 diamonds, I would say that I'm double oversuited. That's kind of why I said single right there. But basically, that all that means is that I have the suit, but I have one more in addition to the suit, which is of course a bad thing when you hold the ace. And um, maybe I should have figured this out myself. I don't know if I should call here or not. I actually have no clue. So I'm just gonna fold here and I'm just gonna check here. Um, but yeah, like when you have like lower cards being oversuited, like, is actually a good thing, because then you're blocking the ace suit from occurring. So like, the ace X flush draw. So that's a concept that I was not even really fully thinking of. Like, in my brain, it's like oversuited is kind of like always bad, because you're always taking away from your own outs. But because you're not drawing to the nuts with the smaller flushes anyway, it's better to just take away the other opponent's outs, I would say. So I like that concept. But so for Omaha, like, I understand the concept of, you want to draw to the nuts more often than you would in a game like Hold'em. In Omaha, you also are, in a very weird way, even though we're playing pot limit as opposed to no limit, position is somehow more important, somehow more valuable. I think that's mainly because of the God. Why is position more valuable? Why is position more valuable in a game like this? I don't fully understand off the top of my head. I just know that it's a fact. I just know that that is a fact. I guess here's why. Here's why. Because equities run closer in this game, the decisions are going to be harder and the situations are all going to be closer. So to be able to have the advantage of having information and being in position is just going to be more important, because in a game where there's like very few instances to be like, a 90-10 favorite, an 80-20 favorite, 75-25 favorite, like being out of position but a 90% favorite is like unfavorable, but it's less favorable, but it's not like unfavorable. It's like right here, I have no idea. I think I'm gonna overload. But when you are in this game and you're like, 40%, I'm sorry, 60% favorite, like 55% favorite, like 65% favorite at best, being out of position is much worse, I guess, is the main concept. I don't think I can call here, dude. 7x. Like my hand like isn't that good. Like it's okay, but it's not that good. Here, I actually have no idea. Again, I'm just gonna flat because it's like I've got all the Broadway going. I also have like, this is a good high-low hand because I got a little bit of low going as well. I love high-low. High-low so cool. It's basically when you play split. You play split pot. You're playing high and low at the same time. The hand only plays high-low when there is a qualifying low. So this would be a good qualifying low board because only all you need now is one more card, 8 or below, for there to be a qualifying low. But we are going to actually, I think betting is fine, dude. We've got the backdoor everything with the diamond queen. We got the 4, and 2 people check to us. But high-low's a very intricate game. But it seems like the way that the dust has settled of like the early poker 2000s, like pot limit Omaha high and of course no limit hold'em are still like kind of like the bread and butter of poker. I mean, split pot is hard, man, to make mainstream. Like getting people to play the 4-card game is hard enough. So like introducing split pot, like we're gonna need another 20-30 years for that before people get bored of PLO, before we can start doing split pot all over the place. But trust me though, PLO high-low is like maybe the best game. Also called PLO 8 or 8 or better. Like those 3 games are synonymous. They just have 3 different names, I guess, because it's a confusing game, confusing names. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to play it, try and play it, or even consider studying some strategy. So like, for example, the best starting hand in PLO high-low is so like, well, to start with, what the best starting hand is in Omaha PLO, if it's not obvious. It wasn't obvious to me at first. It's just double suited aces and kings. So if you ever have ace king king double suited, like that's the best starting hand you can ever have. I didn't know if it was like, ace like 9-10 suited, or if it was like, just like even something completely different, like, queen jack 10-9 double suited, like things like that. I didn't know how the game worked, but it's just double suited aces and kings is the best hand in this game. But in PLO high-low split, the best hand is actually double suited aces with a deuce and a 3, because you want to have the low coverage as well. And the reason why you want the deuce and the 3 is because kind of like how I was talking before on that high-low board, like my 4 actually hit the board. So like when you pair the 4, it doesn't count for your low anymore, because you need 5 qualifying low cards, 8 or below, to actually have low. So if you have a 4 in your hand and you're counting on that as being one of your low cards, and then the 4 hits the board, that sucks. Plus 4 isn't even a good low card because it's higher than deuce and 3. Whereas like deuces and 3s in low games, like, Raz, high low, yada yada, the deuces and 3s play like aces and kings in the high games, because of course they are the highest ranking cards of the 13 available ranks. So double suited aces with a deuce 3 is the best hand in high-low. I don't know why I'm talking about that when I'm talking about high, just because we're talking about Omaha in general. But yeah, so like there's a lot of things, position is more important. Drawing to the nuts is more important. Basically, like everything gets like exacerbated. So like you can't even like set mine in this game with sets that are like below 10s, honestly, and even 10s is a little low at times. You can set mine like jacks and above like freely, like even like bad aces become set mining hands at times. What else? One thing that I did have to like kind of conceptualize and like learn is that you do still kind of want to like push the nuts. Here's what you want to do. You want to like really push the nuts early in a hand, but you don't want to push it so hard that if you don't have a nut redraw, that you're getting free rolled in a lot of instances. So like there can be boards where like, you can have, say, a straight, but your opponent can have a straight and a set, or a straight and a flush draw. And if you're not also free rolling them, like if you don't have like a higher straight in a set, then you're getting fucked when you get like, you know, massive money in the middle. So this is funny, you know, when you play the queen, but you know, getting the 6-7 is like what you actually connect with. So let's see where this ends up being. But this is like one of those instances too where you could reverse it. Someone could have a set on the flop. You could turn a higher set plus have the straight draw. So that's why Omaha is such a awesome game and so intricate and so cool, because you get to do multi-dimensional you get to basically play not even 2 hold'em hands at once, because the hands connect so many ways. It's like you're playing like 4 hold'em hands at once, really. I'm going to flat call, I think is the best way. Speak of the devil, man. Queen on the turn. Look at that. Speak it into existence. Just pot that, because like now we're completely like in the lead. Like there's nothing that anyone can have that we're behind. So we're happy to just shuffle money in the middle. Here, I have no idea if this is a raise. Is this a raise? Is this a raise? I'll min raise. But I don't think it's, I don't know if it's a raise or not. I have no clue. So we're just going to do it and play some poker. All right, check here, out of position. Definitely not good enough to keep or to put in more money. Flopping a straight's nice. So like this is one of those spots where you want to pot it, but if someone over pots it, I don't think you want to like come back over the top of them, you know, because they could have like the same what I was saying before. They could have a straight and a set, yada yada. Actually just gonna fold here, and I'm just gonna call here. I'm going to keep potting it here because 9-7 is the nuts, right? Queen. Oh fuck me. Queen 9's the nuts. I'm a dumb fuck. All right. I'm still gonna pot it though. Damn, 17-7. Really? That sucks. He only flatted, bro. He would have absolutely, bad river spot. Like I feel like, you know, I have the flush too now, but like any action is death. I'm just gonna fold here because I have no idea what to do. Here, this looks like a good spot for me. What the hell do I have? All right, we have open ender. Dude, oh my god, what a jerk. But like this is a boat like all day, every day. It's gotta be. I'll fold and check. I'm gonna check here. I'm gonna fold and check here. Boat? No, bigger. Nothing? Just straight nothing? Good bet, bro. Great bet. Let's see. I thought he like got confident with the straight. I'm like, that's really weird. Here, just because it's like the big-ish wrap kind of thing, I feel like we have to call, even though it's like not like, you know, we got the flush draw, so it's a dirty draw. But I feel like we gotta call there, right? Really, they're repping a boat or nothing on the other board because like it's not only do we have the flush covered, but like they're not gonna bet a flush like that anyway. I think now is fine to fold, I guess. I don't know. It basically feels like one of those spots where like we're up against a set 2 pair and we're probably not gonna get paid if we hit the obvious, but I didn't see they were 57%. They just made such a big bet though. But no, that was a good bet by that other person. That's basically like one of those spots that you kind of like have to bluff in Omaha and just like keep your opponent honest, which is almost like the bluffing spots in Omaha are like so much easier than they are in Hold'em because they're obvious. You know, like the board changed dramatically and your opponent check quickly. Kind of have to fucking bet there, dude. Like it's almost a mandatory thing. It's like you don't know who's willing to pull the trigger until you see them pull the trigger, you know? Double suited aces with a 10 and a 5, so we got Broadway coverage and wheel coverage. This is some pretty freaking nice aces over here. These are snap, shove, get in aces, basically. Like someone re-raises us, we are re-raising them. This is a very mediocre ace king suited. I actually don't even know if I can call a raise here, dude. I really don't. I genuinely don't. I don't know what to do here, so I'm just gonna pot it with the double pair. Double pairs confuse me, like, because they seem like good in theory, but then they also don't. I'm just gonna check react here, see what they want to do. 88% bets half pot quickly. I'll check call one. Backdoor flush draw, over pair, all that good stuff. Myriad of outs on the turn. Holy sh. All right, just check again is fine, and then check here is also fine. He pots it on the turn. Wow. I think check call's fine. And then the river, huh? So I'm just really like, is it set? Is it 5 6? Even though I blocked that. Is it misdraw? something like I just don't believe right here, but I'm not gonna call and not believe. I'm gonna reveal and not believe. It was a 6-5. Okay. It felt like so strong that it was almost like too good to be true from their perspective. I'm like, you really got it like that? Okay. Because like every street they put on the heat. So like you're telling me on the flop you had the draw, then the turn you hit, and then the river you didn't bust any other flush or anything. Like you just got the straight and or a set. And they said, "Yep," and that was the answer. I think flat here is fine. But oh wait. No, I should have 3-bet, right? Yeah, against this person. Against this person, I should have 3-bet for sure because this is a very strong hand. Double suited Broadway with the wheel combination as well. For sure. I think that's a mistake, but we didn't connect, so poker gods bailed us out. Let's see if we can add a 4th table. I like, even though I mix stakes a lot, I do like to keep the game similar. Let's sit right here. Nice even triangle. Let's let me open up my mute mic thing so I can click mute it when I need to cough. I'm just gonna call here, set mine with the QQ. And we'll just go check and react. Wow, double suited Broadway. All right, so we missed with the QQ. We're just gonna check fold. We are getting a single call, cool with the big draw down here. Need a good flop. Don't really get it. We have some backdoor potential with the 10 and with the heart, but like, you know, that's fine. We'll call. 2 players behind. It's fine. Speculative, but we'll call. Check. Check. Okay. It's like exactly what I was talking about before. It's like one of those spots where it's kind of like a mandatory bluff when the board changes that dramatically and you get like quick checks to you. It's like, all right, they're capped and I'm still not. So I almost have to bet, like just like how the other dude did before. You are compelled to. Like those are the bluffing spots in Omaha because people are going to bluff you there, and because you just get drawn out so often there that you really do have to make, in my opinion, / from what I've noticed, like those are the spots that you have to keep your opponents keeping you honest. You know, you have to force them to call you with non-nutted hands, and until they do, you're just gonna print there with the bluffs, especially against quick checks. You know, like if they bet small, like I don't know if raising is gonna be as effective or this or that, but against quick checks, I think you're, I don't want to say in the clear, to just kind of like barrel away and bluff away, but like as a single street bluff right there, or even as a multi-street, you know, like they call the turn, bet the river because they could be trying to boat up, you know. But it does feel free. It does feel free at the moment. But once again, complete amateur at Omaha. I'll call because like it's heads up in position, but you know it's not great. Same diff. A lot of board changing cards that they could just check to me on. Check here, or sorry, complete here. Like pretty connected hand, but like we're not, like nothing's really nutted. Beautiful looking hand that's like split down the middle. Only reason for me to call here is to literally try to bet on boards where they, you know, check on the end, like what happened last hand. It's like that's what we've been talking about, and that's not like my main strategy. It's just like when it happens, it happens. Like when you have equity, and it turns out that the board turns scary, those are the times to go for it. I have no idea what I do right here. I have no idea if this is a pot, a small raise, or a fold. I'm gonna fold. I like to have at least one suit when I open. At least one suit, or like be on the button, you know. If I had to choose right now between moving up in PLO, moving down in PLO, or playing a different game, I think I'd play a different game. I think I'd just add like an NL10 table so that I don't have to like really think about it. Just like some random table if we can find like a 7 EV pip or whatever to kind of add to the mix, even though I don't typically, as I said before, mix the, see, this is another, it's like exact same hand, right? Is this not the, no, it's 9-7 before. Oh, that's a really similar hand. I'm like, just out of the sake of getting the same hand twice, didn't work out once. It's like the game telling us, hey man, we want to work out for you this time. So yeah, we got a 70 VPIP right here. Like, we might as well take the seat, you know, and just like play poker and just play a little poker with them. I'll try to do my little buy-in trick so that I don't post under the gun. Pretty mediocre situation here, but I'm just gonna peel one off. We got like a bunch of draws that aren't to the nuts, and who knows? Oh, was not paying close enough attention. What else? Gonna fold here though, because that's way too strong of a bet by them. I actually feel like I can make up for my posting mistake by putting in an open raise. I think King 5 suited is like really close here because we're not actually under the gun. We're under the gun with 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2 seats missing basically. So I think this actually could be an open. I don't know. I'll limp. Why the hell not? I have a pair of tens and a suited king and a dangler 4. I was really fond of that term when I first heard it, like learning Omaha back in the day. Dangler. It's like, oh yeah, it is just dangling there, like doing nothing. Yes, we're just gonna fold there. The 70 VPIP is trying to give it away as quick as possible. This is like such a deceptive hand because like this is the kind of hand that'd be like, oh, this is a cool hand in Omaha, but it's like it's really not. Like there's not, unless like the board comes like, you know, 7-4x, like you're not drawing to nothing. So like your suits are shit. You're really just blocking. 7-4x, son of a fucking bitch. That is so funny. Let's see. I think given that we have a professional in the mix at 78 VPIP, there's like no reason not to raise the suited ace. Like our equity just goes up dramatically when we have a player of that capacity, I guess you could say, at your tables. Gutter, backdoor flush draw, overcard. I think betting is good, even though this board does favor their range over ours. Not a great turn card. I'm gonna check react, see what they got going on there in their situation. If we face a bet, we gotta fold almost always. If they check back, then we can consider betting on some rivers. But I think it's gonna almost always just be like try to check down our value at that point. Like maybe they have 8-9, maybe they have, you know, Jack 10, Jack Queen, that kind of hand. So at this point, I'm just gonna fold. Cool, we're about halfway through an average size video that I'd like to make for this type. Car alarm going off outside for this type of thing. I feel like about 40-45 minutes is like kind of perfect, you know, it gives you a good flow because once again, like the whole concept of this video type and series and such is to give people an adequate representation of what it's like to play a lot of poker. You know, like this is the grind. This is the grind. So like, you know, like the typical YouTube video, like to retain attention, you know, 8 to 12 minutes, really. Like if you're really trying to like, you know, grow an audience and this and that, like maybe even shorter, you know, 8 to 12 minutes is only so you can squeeze the mid-roll ads in there. If you really want to retain an audience, you know, some quick like between like if I see a video that's like 3 minutes long, like I know that there's like basically no fluff in there. If it's a short that's 3 minutes long, it's all fluff. So if it's a video that's like 3 to 6 minutes long, like that's how you know like you're really getting some good value out of the situation. But with this, like the value is in the length. I feel like the value is like the more poker I play, like the better of a value you get out of this. So you want these videos to be longer, even though longer is more content to consume, more boring, more this, more that. Like, I get it. You know, I don't like watching long stuff. It's not that I don't like watching long stuff. I just understand the difficulty of watching longer things. But that is where the inherent value will reside in the long run, I believe. I don't know. Do I call here or do I fold here? I literally have no idea. So I'm just going to call because this guy seems insane. You know, 88-43. Like, I don't know what else to do other than call. We flop top two. It's a weird way to flop top two, but we hit that. So I'm gonna give him a 460. I would think is nice. They jam. All right, let's just reload and go with it. What do you got? Probably hearts. Some weird stuff. Wow, deuce, 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 deuce. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, our fish left. All right. So one thing too is kind of crazy is like you will see even like bigger disparities in like you'll see some huge VPIPs in, you know, no limit, but in pot limit, You know, the 60s, 70s, 80s are like even more apparent. You know, every table right now has at least a 60. You know, like fish report real quick. You know, and we just lost an 89 VPIP on this table, by the way. So like, let's just keep that in mind. Is that 63? That's insane. 85. Wow. I mean, that's if we had this in Hold'em right now, like this would be just like insane. But even in a game like this where, you know, your PFR is, I'm sorry, your VPIP PFR is allowed to be bigger. It's not allowed to be that much bigger, where you're able to play like a 70 VPIP fish is still a 70 VPIP fish. You know, like it may be closer to what you should play in Omaha, but it's still very bad. And who knows, man, it may even be worse. Honestly, like, I don't understand how this game works, but like it may genuinely be worse because the equities run so close in a game like Hold'em, like you have like 7-5 offsuit versus like, you know, ace king offsuit, and you know you flop a 5 and like it's genuinely hard for the ace king to catch up at that point. But like that shit doesn't happen in this game, you know, like everyone has so many cards and so much equity in so many situations that I feel like if you play like the weaker your range gets, like your disadvantage must get so much worse, I would assume. But once again, very amateur in this game. I'm gonna overlimp with the 5-6 off. You know, on the button, it's kind of like a similar concept with the ace 4 off. That was actually not even this video that I think about it, but yeah, we overlimped on the button. You know, one of our last 2 videos with ace 4 offsuit, and it's just like not strong enough to raise, but you definitely want to play it in position. You can bluff on a lot of flops. If you flop a small pair, I like to consider that a gut shot. You know, essentially a gut shot is a 5 out, or sorry, it's a 4 out draw to a very strong hand, and a bottom pair, middle pair, no kicker is kind of the same thing. And you can turn trips, 2 pair, river the same hand, and that's gonna genuinely be a pretty good deceptive strong hand. It's like, so I consider it similar to a gut shot. You know, it's a little bit easier to hit, not quite as strong when you do hit, but it has a very similar aura to it. And not all gut shots are created equal too. Some of them are not to the nuts, and you know, it's a very similar hand at that point then. Like, all right, so we'll go for about another 20 minutes on the Omaha, and then maybe I'll switch over to some Hold'em. Because like I don't really grind Omaha like that, but it is part of the rotation. Like it is poker. It is, you know, something that we're doing. And it is profitable. Like that's like the most important part. It is profitable. Like you saw the fish report that we just did. This is like, it feels so dirty to check this, bro. Like, but can I really raise here? I don't think so. It feels so dirty to check though. Like, cause even here, like, there's like a good flop, and like even then, it's like, what do I have? I have top pair, no kicker, and like I'm a draw to the 3rd nuts. Yippee. I'm just gonna check down my showdown value. I assume is the play. I really have no idea. Once again, genuinely no clue. That's a cool thing too, though, is like exposing yourself to a game that you like. I don't always have to know what the hell I'm doing to want to play a game, you know? Some games are genuinely just fun. Some are just good for the profit. Once again, here I still have no idea. I'm just gonna fold. I'm getting such a good price, but it's such a bad hand. Such a good price, such a bad hand. It's like the devil and angel on my shoulder. It's like right here, dude, the flush comes in, big bet. I have no clue. Like, do I call here? I guess I have to, right? Because why else would you call with the flush draw if you're gonna fold the flush? But it just feels dirty the whole time. I think I have to call here, right? With the jacks, the ace suited, even though we're oversuited. I mean, it's like the biggest single raise I've ever seen in Omaha, I guess, because like every person limps, you know? Like with it being just a single open. All right, well, they probably have like KKXX or something for like how quickly they snap checked. I have no interest in flopping top pair mediocre kicker. I was looking for a jack. Ugh, gross. You can have it, bro. He has TTXX. What the hell? You had AK. Well, at least I didn't fold the best hand. But I definitely misread their hand. All right, we got a little ace queen 10-6 action. If the ace was the diamond, then 100%. Yeah, sorry. I'm not paying attention. Not paying attention. Can't really fold there at any point, right? I mean, what if I call? What if this guy calls? I call and this guy jams. Are we still going with it? Like, that would be kind of absurd, right? Let's just react to sizing and timing. But, like, no, I mean, like, you have to answer these questions because in theory, you have to know the answer, even if it doesn't happen in reality. It just sucks. I'll just put it that way. It sucks. It really does, you know? And it does kind of depend, like, what happens when they come back to you. Like, say, if they both call, like, man, that really, like, limits you. But if they both fold, then, like, the opportunity for Jack X to be out there is, like, much higher. I'm just going to jam myself. I'm, like, sitting here talking about a theoretical thing that hasn't even happened and, like, delaying the action of reality, which is so silly. So I apologize to my opponents for that. Let's go 420 against the fish. If they want to stack off, I'm happy to. Gonna call the 3-bet, I guess. I don't know, dude. I really have no clue. I genuinely don't know what the hell's going on in this game, so I'm just gonna call when I have, like, an okay hand. Because, like, they're repping a pretty big hand, so it's like, okay. And it's like, who the hell knows what they're shoving with there? It's like Jack Queen, like any Broadway, like 25 big blinds or whatever. Like, sure, let's go. Fold there, but reload, please. Gonna just fold here, but I could consider calling if I had more bandwidth available to me at the moment. But I want to focus more on this hand and, like, you know, play what we have on our other tables. The perils of multi-tabling. Now we lose to queen, and ace, so the jack is like, meh. The king on the, yeah, the king on the river would be meh, because, you know, paired board. And then here we do hit the 5. Back doors. Big bet, though. 2 players behind us. That would have been a good turn card. One of few, you know. But, like, even then, like, it's only a good, like, we're drawing a, not even really low-key, because that would have been a great river card. That's really what it is, because then the 4-6 gives us the nuts, right? Sorry, 8, 7, 6. No, 6, 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. I am so slow at calculating the best hand in this game. And I'm also very slow at realizing who has the best hand at showdown. Like, when people, if there's like 3 people all in and it gets a showdown, like, I just look and see where the pot gets chipped to. I am not trying to figure out who has the best hand. If it's heads up, I'll try to figure out who has the best hand. But 3 ways, I'm not even gonna try. It goes too fast online. I guess I flat here, right? Because they're only 11% PFR. And it's like, this is one of those spots where, like, you need, like, a very, very specific board for this hand to be good, you know? Watch, like, my value come, like, with an 8 hitting or something. And it not even being to the nuts. Alright, do we stay on this table? Because, well, I mean, this guy's still pretty bad. We got very lucky against the weaker player. I mean, they raised PFR. They probably don't, they might have the KX, who knows? Make it a little 3x here on the bottom table with the JJ. I guess I can call once, right? Maybe, who knows? Yeah, I was like, do I have Broadway draw at all? It's like, no, I only have my 8 and the flush draw and, like, the ace, obviously, but, like, that's not gonna give me shit. It's not gonna get me nowhere. So we flopped a really bad flush, which is whatever. I think we just fold here, right? I don't think that this is a spot where you can just, like, draw. Bet small with the flop flush. Like, flop flushes are very good, even if they are not to the nuts. Like, drawing to the nuts is what you want to do, but, like, flopping a flush is flopping a flush, dude. Like, that's, like, still very fucking hard to do. And people are gonna have 2 pair. They're gonna have straight. Sorry, not straight. They're gonna have sets. They're gonna have, like, stuff they want to draw to. So you still want to charge them for those draws. God, do I want to go for the cheeky check XRAI, which is check raise all in? I know I say that sometimes and I don't explain what it is, but I just assume everyone knows. I think XRAI is great, dude, because, like, it's the only way to get max value from a draw here. Like, look, there's so many draws out there, and it's like, I can't just jam, but I can jam now. Now I can jam. And I don't even jam, dude. I make it like that, you know, make it like a committal amount. That just happens to be basically their whole stack. Like, our hand is so good, and the turn card is so draw heavy And it's like, how many times have you check folded there? Like, that really protects your checking range as well. Which is like not any close of a reason to do it. It's just a benefit of the fact, I would say. Like half the time when people discuss why they do what they do, it's not necessarily like, oh, this is like a contributing factor. It's just, oh, also, by the way, when you do this, like it does heavily protect your checking range. So in the future, that person does need to consider when you bet the flop, check the turns, like, are they going to stick it in my face or are they actually giving up? And just having that question in their mind is amazing for your own playability. Like it makes playing out of position with someone so much easier if they fear your checks. If they think they can run over your checks, then like it's tough. That's tough. That's kind of like one of the core concepts that is built into a very ambiguous concept, which I talk about every now and again. It's more of a live concept, really, but I still do think it applies online. And that's having a winning or versus a losing image. Like when you are winning money at the table versus when you're losing money at the table. And just long story short, it is far easier to win money when you are winning money. Put it that way. Because people fear the lucky player. People fear someone who's hitting all the cards, and people fear someone who seems like they know what they're doing. And when you're just reloading and rebuying and taking money out of your pocket all the time, you look like a fucking fish, and you feel like a fish, and you don't necessarily always know if what you're doing is proper. Like if you're experienced, you do, but it's easy to like lose confidence when you're losing and all this. So people, you want to garner a winning image as often as possible and as quickly as possible. And that's why sometimes, even if like you're losing at a table, like leaving the table for the sole reason of resetting your image is like not a bad idea. It really is not a bad idea. Because sometimes, like, if none of your bets are going to get through, if none of your C bets are getting through, and you can only rely on value, that fucking sucks, man. That really does suck. That's a shitty way to play poker. That's a very shitty way to play poker. Because at that point, sometimes, like, the table will even, like, get you down so good where it's like, they'll see you betting and it doesn't work. They see you bet, bluff doesn't work, and then like you tighten up for a little bit, you bet for value, and then they fold. And then unless you're like really keen to know when they expect you to value bet and you use that as a chance to bluff because your image is bad, you still may get looked up. It's tough. Like they basically force you to have value hands, and when you're in an instance where you're forced to have value hands, yet they could still maybe make a good fold against you because they know you're kind of tilted, yet maybe even a decent player in general. Like, you have just a losing image. They don't think you're a losing player, just in the moment you have a losing image. That's like means you're more prone to tilt, more prone to make bad plays. Not necessarily that they think you're a bad player or a stupid person, just that in this current moment, you're not doing so hot. That's all that really says. Like, what the fuck what do you do here, man? I have double suited like high cards, but the pair sucks. Like this is such a weird spot, dude. Such a weird spot. I have no idea how to play a hand like that. Because like the threes are shit, but a suited king and a suited ace is great. So I don't fucking know. But yeah, winning image and losing image is just something to consider. Like just something to consider, like when you're making a particular bet. Like, are they going to give me extra respect here because they think I'm not going to bluff because I've been looked up bluffing so many times already? Or, vice versa. Are they going to look me up every time here because every time I have bet, I've shown up with nothing? I'm not going to lie. I got dealt aces, and I'm like, where the hell are my other two cards? I'm like, where the hell are my other two cards? It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, this isn't a great 9x spot because we got so much dead money. You might think it's a 6-7 spot, but it's definitely a 9x spot because we got a 58 V-pip in the middle already. And they saw us go all in, potentially, we have no idea, but they might have seen us go all in with that queen jack offsuit before, which makes us look kind of fishy, so. So go for the gusto. We got the 9x call. Like, that's amazing, bro. Anytime you can get someone to call you 9x for value with ace is like so crazy because like you should be sizing down in theory with your nutted hands. I'm gonna check the flop because we can win their stack in 2 streets. So give them a chance to bluff. Why the hell not? We can still win their stack in 2 streets. Let them bluff. Why the hell not? Because if they bet the river, we can just jam on them, and they don't have a king. We're gonna just try and squeeze out like a bit of value. I think their hand is complete shit. That's like basically my assessment right now. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Winning hands like this feels so good. It feels almost as good as when like my overbet value bets get through. because like from like start to finish, like we knew exactly where we were. You know, I've talked before about like what street are you going to extract max value from. That street was clearly the flop or pre-flop. Clearly pre-flop, you extract max value because once the flop hit, like there was nothing for them. There was nothing for them there. So you can't extract max value on the flop. You can't do it on the turn. You can't do it on the river. So we got max value pre-flop by making it 9x. So fucking good. And that allowed us to make a bet of like B33 on the river that like fucking shit. Oh my fucking god, dude, this sucks here, but we do have the redraw. We do have the redraw. I'm actually gonna. Yeah. 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 They have 10-8 or sorry, 10 freaking 7 a lot of the time. Yeah. 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 And like I felt like they were gonna have a tough time throwing it away. It's tough to flop the nuts and throw it away still when you're a 70% VPIP. Like you haven't learned that yet in poker. When you haven't learned to not play 70% of hands yet, you haven't learned to not throw away you haven't learned to not get married to your hang yet. So when they flop the nuts and like when they raise me on the flop, I'm like, ooh, I should probably fold here because my hand's not to the nuts, and I realized I had the backdoor draw, or not the backdoor draw, I had the redraw, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm in an okay position. So we call, we hit, and then like you just donk into them because like they can't fold. They can't fucking fold. So like, don't give them the chance to check back ever. But just getting back to the previous hand where we hit this guy for like, you know, the B33 on the river, it's like because we made the pot bigger pre-flop and because we let them bluff on the turn / they bet their little value hand or whatever, it allowed our B33 on the river to be of a big blind size than had we just made it like 4x or 5x or whatever the hell pre-flop. I'm gonna check here even though we got a gutter and overcards. We're just like 1,000 fucking ways. This wouldn't have been a terrible spot to bet. We had the gut shot to the nuts and overcards and so many ways though. So many ways. And Omaha, yeah, forget it. Overcard, gutter, second overcard, which is what I call the jacks, overcard to the 9. Shut the fuck up, man. Let me think. God, I'm gonna call here actually, just because we are drawing to the nuts with the 10, and like we could really, you know, reverse implied odds somebody if they have what you call it, like, okay, so say we hit like I'm not gonna think. So we have king jack. If they have jack 10, sorry, jack 10 or jack 8, sorry, jack 8 is what I was thinking. The 10 hits. That's the reverse implied odds hand. Over limp here with like the small connectors and the suited ace. I feel like that's a fine spot to try and take a flop. Ooh, middle pair and a gutter. Is that what we have? Middle pair and a gut shot. Fold here. I'm gonna go grab a protein shake from the fridge because my stomach is screaming at me. My stomach is screaming at me. BRB. It's okay, baby. Papa needs to eat sometimes too. It's okay, baby. Zoey gets so distraught when I run by. Protein shakes on the fridge. Something to have like a quick little snack is very nice when you're on the grind. When hunger hits, it's like you can't focus on that. I think pot is fine, but I don't know. All right. All we need is the 10. That'll give us a straight flush with a quad draw. It's really unfortunate that they don't have more money behind. That's all I can say. So that when we do hit our inevitable 10, you know, we can't win like $1 million. I would like to win approximately $1 million. They jam, it kind of sucks, but whatever. Like they're like an 80% VPIP and they have, you know, $7. So like fuck it. We still do have like infinite redraw. Not infinite, but like I guess finite, but we are never drawing dead, I guess is the best way to word it, like whatever the hell like they can have quads and we're still live. It's kind of crazy. If we turned the set and they had quads on the flop, we would be live with 2 outs. To be live against quads with 2 outs is like kind of wild. If we had the open-ended straight flush draw, we'd be live with 3 outs. That's why Omaha is just an insane hand. Insane game. Go Pata El Gusto. Por favor. 9x is good here against this guy is basically what I'm saying. Like, again, like the 2x is going to get him out of the way. If he comes back over the top, then we're screwed. We just fold. But you really want to get max value from this guy. We'll call with the 9-9, even though it's kind of fishy. Gotta fold the king here. I can't call here. But I do need to clip this recording, right? Because we're at about 45 minutes. So, what am I going to do? Great question. What am I going to do? I don't mind these tables. Like, I don't mind playing more Omaha. I am actually kind of having fun playing Omaha. So, like, I actually don't really want to stop at the moment. So maybe we'll just continue into episode 6 and it will continue with Omaha. Which isn't what I was planning on doing in the beginning, but I'm actually enjoying the game a little bit. I mean, I really do like Omaha. Omaha is something that I've always told myself is my favorite poker variant. Once again, getting back to it before, specifically high-low, pot limit high-low. I just think is like so intricate and so there's just so much going on that like it's a lot to think about, and I enjoy games like that. So I have always favored this game. I'm just not good at it, so that's why I don't gravitate towards it. But players on the side are so bad that even I can make money against them, which is nice. So there's really no reason not to play. My win rate at NL10 I'm sure is higher than at PLO 10, but it's probably not like super much higher, right? I'm just gonna call 1-ish here. See the turn. What's your action? 570. Smells like a set to me, bro. Just smells like or like a big draw. I'm gonna fold and check. I'm actually gonna fold and check. I want to say, show me. Big draw with the 2 pair. Yeah. So I did have a bigger 2 pair, but like they had they had a lot of outs. They had a lot of outs. I cannot complain. It felt something of that ilk, but like that's probably the bottom of their main hand range there. All right, so let's play this aces hand, and then we're going to cut the recording, and we'll come back for episode 6. Or actually, you know what? Let's cut the hand. Let's cut it right now, and you guys let's have to come back and see how the aces play. Yeah, never mind. It would have been way more interesting if you flopped an ace. I would have definitely cut it down. We're like, all right, see you on the next one. But we'll just play it out now because it's not gonna be that interesting. But yeah, basically, all the stuff you guys know, comment, questions, all this good stuff. I know this is Omaha, and it's probably not interesting to half of the people out there, but poker's poker. Poker's poker. So this will be it for now. So yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much, and we're gonna start up episode 6 right now. So I'll see you in just a moment.